Hi everyone, I'm your Maven of Mystery, and it's about 20 minutes to midnight. I'm not tired, and I've had a kind of long day. Um, I went to see pain management today. Yeah, I have a condition called hydradenitis suppurativa, and it presents, well, this is going to be kind of maybe awkward, but I wanted to talk about it because it's an orphan disease. Not a lot of people talk about it um, because it carries with it a kind of shame, and I have felt ashamed of it because it has some pretty disgusting symptoms. One is boils and cyst like sores that that fill up and drain, and it's messy and it smells like infection, um, and it starts usually from puberty and on. Some people are lucky, and when they have not lucky, well, lucky, but when they go through menopause, then it kind of stops. I think your hormones have a lot to do with it, but it's a follicle disorder. It's like having ingrown hairs that precipitate in sores. And the thing about it is there's no cure for it. The only cure is scarring from the constant um, filling up and draining, for lack of a better um, term. Um, I have I've had several different kinds of surgery with it, and after I lose all the weight that I want to lose, the plastic surgeon is going to take the excess skin off, because with skin to skin, it kind of exacerbates the condition. Um, it likes moist areas, and like I've lost 220 pounds, and so I have a lot of skin. I have, and see, this is um, kind of, well, this is what it is. This is not as bad as when I started having it, because I went to the doctor and they had surgery, which they scraped out my sweat glands. So basically, my sweat glands don't work under my arms. Um, I have it can be on your neck, it can be behind your ears, under your breasts, under skin folds. Like I was telling you, I lost all this weight, so now my stomach kind of hangs over other areas. Plus, I have lymphedema, which causes fluid to gather, and it's kind of like it gathers, and it can't be wrung out, basically. So I have my thighs have like a, one of them has a huge lump that kind of dangles. It's really hard to walk with. But anyway, in that crease and other creases, it is in those places. So anywhere your skin can fold over, um, yeah, you can get it there. It's not it's not contagious. It isn't something that you can give to someone else. It's hereditary. It's not because you're fat. There are lots of people with different body shapes that have this condition. It's not really talked about um, because it does bring a certain amount of shame. I had, um, I was at work. I was working as a data entry, and I was on the second shift. So the first shift, second shift, third shift. So I was on the second shift, and they have cubicles. So you basically could take any that was vacant. So nobody really had a desk per se. Um, and so I would bring a cushion, like you would have on your dining room chairs. People have them. Anyway, I would bring one of those with me because I had sores where I sat, and quite often it would drain through my clothes, and they had cloth chairs. So I didn't want to leave any, I didn't want to soil the chairs. So I thought I had it, pretty well under control, that I was, taking care of it. And then one day I came to work, and there was, my supervisor told me that personnel wanted to see me. And so I went to the personnel office, and she had another person in the meeting with me. And they were, very, um, they were very cautious, and they were trying to be not accusatory, I guess. But basically, they asked me about my hygiene. And the reason why it came up was there was residual smell when I left for work, and whoever came to replace me or sit there would notice it. And I mean, at that point in my life, I was taking 2 showers a day. I took one when I got up, and I took one when I went to work. And I actually took 3 because I take one when I come home. I was just trying very hard to get it off of me. And it mingles with your sweat. You can reinfect yourself. It, not reinfect, but it just, one of the things that the sores do is they tunnel. So you can have a sore, and then it will drain in both directions, inside and out. And so you can have one with a track with several different sores on it. I lived with a friend for a while, and I know that they didn't mean to do this, but they wouldn't, a few of them wouldn't eat what I cooked. And I got the general feeling that they thought I was dirty, even though they saw that I took showers. I'm not sure what they thought I was doing in there. Anyway, there's just a lot of embarrassment. I went over to a friend's house one time, and they were all gathered in the living room. I wanted to sit on a chair that wasn't cloth, and there just wasn't one available. If I had had my coat, I would have sat on it, but that was already, they take your coat when you come in, and I'm not going to run to the room that has the coats in it and bring it out and sit on it. It would just, anyway. So I tried try not to leave a mark in the seat. And yet when I got up and I saw it, I was like kind of mortified. Um, so it's not something that a lot of people understand, and they think you're doing it on purpose, and you're not. And you get, that even from very good friends who know your condition, there's a lot of stigma about it. And that's why I wanted to really talk about it because, people, you have no idea what someone is going through. And a lot of people make snap judgments and they see something and they think that you have something to do with it. Um, I had taken minocycline for years, and um, it I had scars on my legs, and the minocycline darkened the scars. So it looked like someone kicked me a lot in my legs. It looked like bruises. They weren't bruises. It was just, minocycline does that. And I was constantly asked, "Oh, what happened?" And you try to explain it, and you kind of they don't get it. Um, in fact, I think a few times the same person did it to me several times. It's like, how many times do I have to tell you? um, anyway, that was one of the things that, I wanted to talk about because, like I said, it's not really talked about. I mean, I have found, like when I was on MySpace, there were some pages about it and stuff, but I just want to say, you don't know when you look at someone, what their story is, and you just need to take it easy on people. Um, I guess that's all. Oh, I told you I saw pain management today. The other thing, my mind is going in different directions. Um, the my dermatologist had recommended Remicade, and I didn't know at the time that it was a form of chemotherapy. I think a lot of times doctors talk to you, and they don't break it down into terms that you can understand. So, when he said that it could possibly lower my immune system, it didn't really tell me, that it was a form of chemo. And when I was on Remicade, it did a lot to increase my quality of life. I didn't spend, half the day in bed like I did before. I could not move because the sores were so prevalent. And any kind of standing, walking, sitting, I mean, I I laid in bed for most of the day, and I would be um, propped up in different positions with towels so that it would take the pressure off of certain areas that had the sores. So, anyway, after about, I don't know, probably about 6 years of Remicade, my system, my immune system was lowered so much that I had cellulitis, and that I went into septic shock twice. Um, After that, I was like, no more Remicade. And so now I'm dealing with a lot more sores. It's really hard. They've given me hydrocodone. I don't like to take pills, and the only time I take it is if I really can't stand the pain. So I took some the other day because it was that bad. Anyway, I lost my train of thought from what I was going to say earlier. But I just wanted to, my mother would be mortified. She always said, Linda, you don't have to tell everyone your life story. And, literally I do. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. There are people like me who have this condition that that are ashamed of it, and they've done nothing wrong. I said before that people think it's from being overweight. Overweight people, it doesn't help the hydradenitis, but it's not caused by that. And it's not caused by, poor eating habits or not being clean. And a lot of times, earlier in my condition, there were doctors that had no idea about hydradenitis. And it's only been recently for me that I have found doctors who are really knowledgeable about it, and there are different techniques. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I went to pain management, and about the only thing that they can offer me, physically medical, is gabapentin, and I took it before for neuropathy, but I haven't taken it for hydradenitis, and so I guess we're going to give that a try. And the other thing that they suggested was a pain psychologist. So I will be going to that individual as soon as we figure out if my insurance will cover it. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you know what's going on with me, and thanks for listening. It's not the best subject in the world, but I don't want to be ashamed of it anymore. I didn't do it. I'm just living with it. So anyway, something like that's happening to you, give yourself a break. You can't help what your body does. So thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you later.